All right, let's jump right in. We are breaking down a media deal so unbelievably massive, it's going to completely change everything you watch. This is the story of how Netflix basically just bought Hollywood. So get this, the company that brought you Stranger Things just went out and bought Batman. And Harry Potter. And Game of Thrones. Yeah, you heard me right. The keys to Gotham City, Hogwarts, and Westeros are all under one roof now. And that? Well, that changes everything. And here's the number that makes it all happen. Nearly $83 billion. Let that sink in for a second. This isn't just some acquisition. This is a history-making, industry-shattering mega deal. The scale is so huge, it's kind of hard to even wrap your head around, so let's break down what it really means. So here's how we're going to tackle this whole thing. First, we'll look at this new Hollywood empire. Then we'll dive into the nuts and bolts of the deal itself. After that, we have to ask, is this a monopoly? Then we'll uncover the real prize here, and hint, it's all about AI data. And finally, the big one, what does this all mean for you? Okay, first up, Hollywood's new empire. And look, we've got to be super clear about this. This isn't just Netflix getting a little bigger. Nope, this is about taking the entire map of entertainment, ripping it up, and drawing a whole new one. You could say the streaming wars just found their final boss. To really get a feel for how insane $83 billion is, let's put it into perspective. Remember when Disney bought Fox? That was a massive deal, right? $71 billion. At the time, everyone thought, wow, that's a once-in-a-generation kind of thing. Well, this Netflix deal, it just blew that right out of the water. Okay, so when you see a price tag that big, two questions probably pop into your head right away. One, what in the world did they actually get for all that money? And two, how on earth are they going to pay for it? Let's get into the nitty-gritty. This split is actually fascinating. Look at what Netflix is taking. They're grabbing the whole creative machine, the studios, the legendary HBO brand, the entire DC superhero universe, and the massive Warner Bros. Library. And what's being left behind? Basically old school cable TV, CNN, Discovery, that stuff. It's a huge tell. Netflix doesn't want cable channels. They want the stories, the characters, and the factories that make them. So, the $83 billion question. How do you pay for this thing when you don't have a giant pile of cash just lying around? Well, you get creative with financing. It's basically a three-step dance. First, they get a giant short-term loan. Think of it like a bridge loan. Then, they turn that loan into long-term IOUs that they sell to big investors. And for the rest, they're betting the farm on their own future growth to pay it off. And that bet? It's pretty straightforward, really. The thinking goes like this. All that amazing new content from HBO and Warner Brothers is going to bring in millions of new subscribers. With more people on board, they can raise prices a bit. At the same time, they'll cash in on huge names like Batman and Harry Potter with video games, toys, you name it. It's a simple equation, right? More content equals more users means more money, and that money pays off that massive loan. Which leads us to the really big, kind of scary question here. Is this a dream come true for viewers, like one single place for almost everything? Or is it a nightmare for creativity? Are we looking at a monopoly that could just choke the life out of new, original ideas? And let me tell you, the people who actually make the movies and shows are not staying silent. Just listen to this quote from the Actors Guild, SAG-AFTRA. They called it dynamite at the root of the creative ecosystem. Wow. They, and the writers too, see this as a huge threat. Just way too much power in one single place. But okay, let's flip the coin. For us, the people watching at home, there are some pretty awesome upsides, right? I mean, just imagine it. Everything from The Matrix to House of the Dragon in one app. No more juggling 5 different subscriptions. And hey, it could lead to some insane interconnected universes. Who knows, maybe that DC versus Marvel crossover isn't such a fantasy anymore. But, and this is a big but, there's a real risk to creativity itself. When one company is this dominant, what's the incentive to take a chance on something new and weird? The fear is they'll just keep churning out safe, guaranteed blockbusters. Those risky, brilliant indie films, they could get pushed to the side. And smaller studios, they might just get squeezed out completely. That could mean way less variety for all of us. Okay, now we're going to switch gears because there's a part of this deal that most people are missing. And honestly, it might be the most important piece of the whole puzzle.
We've talked about the movies and the money, but the real prize here, it's not about the past. It's about owning the future. So let me ask you a question. What do you think is the single most valuable thing Netflix is getting in this deal? Is it the huge library of films? Is it owning characters like Batman or Harry Potter? The real answer is probably not what you think.
It's the data, a full century of it. Think about that. Every single creative choice, every camera shot, every line of dialogue, for 100 years of making movies. That is the real hidden treasure here. And when I say production data, what does that actually mean? It means every script ever written, every camera angle, the literal sound of an actor's voice, every explosion, every visual effect. For a company that's heavily invested in AI, this isn't just a film library, it's a gold mine. It's the ultimate training data set. And what could they do with that data? Well, this is where it gets a little sci-fi. Imagine an AI that can write entire movie scripts, or digitally clone an actor's voice and face so they can star in new movies even after they're gone. We're talking about the ability to engineer a movie that is mathematically perfect, designed from the ground up to be a hit. This is the long game. Okay, so let's bring this all back down to earth. Forget the billions of dollars and the AI for a second. What does all of this actually mean for you when you're just trying to find something to watch tonight? So here's the bottom line, plain and simple. On the plus side, it's all about convenience. You're gonna get a crazy amount of stuff to watch, all in one place. But the downside is real too. First, say goodbye to cheap Netflix. Those days are probably over. And second, with less competition, you're just gonna have fewer choices overall from other services that can't possibly keep up. And all of this leaves us with one last really important question to think about. Because a deal like this isn't just about business, it's about culture. It changes who has the power to tell stories. So the question we all have to ask is, in this new Hollywood, who gets to decide what stories get told?